Okay, how to remove the radiator on a, well, this is a 66 Oldsmobile Tornado. A 66 Oldsmobile Tornado. 425. This car is incredible. I've already started the work. So I'll show you the hose. So I've already taken this top hose clamp off of here. Hose off of here, not just the clamp. Oh. So the first hose goes on to right there. The thermostat is in there where the hole is. The other end comes right here to the radiator. So the first thing you do is yank that off. Very simple. It only has 2 hose clamps on it. So you loosen those 2 hose clamps and take that off. Next thing you do is this big black piece. I've already taken it off. There were 6 screws or 6 bolts holding that on. That comes right off. It is interesting to note that on each side there's a rubber cushion, and that rubber cushion holds the radiator in place. So it may offer a little bit of resistance when you first try to take that cover off of there. Okay, we're going to get that safely out of the way. Now, as you can see, I've already taken this apart, so this is after the fact. Before I start working on the fan, and the fan is back here. Very difficult to get to. You need not an Allen wrench, you need a box end wrench, because down here are 4 bolts that hold the fan into place on this pulley for the alternator. So to get to those, again, you need, oh boy, I've been working so hard I can't hold this steady. You take off those 4 bolts, then you can take the fan off. But I forgot to mention, on the shroud, there are 2 bolts on the shroud, 1 on each corner here, and then down on the bottom you can see holes down there next to those tubes that go straight into the hole. So there are 4, at least on my car, there are 4 bolts holding that shroud into place. Now the reason I have this cardboard here is the cardboard is protecting the fins, the fragile fins on the radiator. The shroud and the fan come off in one fluid motion. Maybe not so fluid, but they're supposed to come out in one motion. So I'm protecting the radiator by having that piece of cardboard in place, because when I do break that fan loose, I don't want it to accidentally smash into the radiator. Okay, so now I'll take that off of there. If I can find some place to hold this, to steady this. And that's not very steady. And that's not very steady. And this isn't very revealing. Okay. So, okay, I did something a little while ago. I haven't pulled the radiator out yet, but I touched the screen and then I lost you. Okay, so we're still back here. Cardboard in place. Shroud in place. So right here is the shroud, and back of the shroud is the fan. So we're going to remove all of those right now. Now you can pull the fan out separate. The shroud lifts right off. Set those aside. Okay, so that was successful. Okay, now the next portion involves, or it could have been before now, transmission lines run through the radiator as well. Here's one transmission line that I've already taken off. It screws right into there, so that has already come off, and it's off to the side. There's another coolant line, transmission fluid coolant line down here on the bottom. That's the one that I'm taking off right now. Now, as soon as I take that one off, it could very well start to leak tranny fluid. So I need to find some kind of a boot or something to stuff in there so it doesn't constantly drain fluid. So I'll be back, and this is where we'll pick up again. Okay, we're back to the radiator. As you can see, I have the transmission line, the first one, off already. It won't drain any fluid, but the bottom one will. So what I'm going to do is take a bag. Ideally, I'd have some hose. Ideally, I'd have a long piece of hose like this that I can put all the way down on the end of that hose, on the end of that line. A long hose on the end of that line means that the fluid can't drain out, it can only go up in the air so high. But I don't have a piece of hose big enough to do that, so I'll have to make do with a bag and a rubber band. I'll show you when I'm done.